This is 2020 garden for Jeff and Flora. Here we start.
These are 3 Brussels sprouts. We don't know what kind of Brussels sprouts they are, and they're a huge Brussels sprout, and they just are not producing Brussels sprouts. I think they're low on nitrogen, but they're a cool plant, so I'm
Yeah.
happy with them. Even if there are no Brussels sprouts, they've been a cool plant to grow. Pretty, you know.
And here we have,
These are all the tomatoes are indeterminates. This one is called a steakhouse tomato, which is from Burpee, and it's the largest tomato. They advertise it as the largest tomato you can grow, with them getting up to 3.5 pounds and them literally being as big as your head. So I don't know. We've got some big ones on there. I mean, this isn't a small tomato by no means, but it's not a 3.5 pounder. So I think they just have a long ways to go. They're looking good though. And then these two next to it, all of these are considered slicers or beefsteak tomatoes. And then these ones are Boxcar Willie tomatoes. And this is from the old seed from last year that I got these really great tasting tomatoes from. So, but this is the end of those seeds. So this will be the last of the old ones. And this is a new seed pack, the Boxcar Willie. All these are, this is a hybrid, but this is an heirloom and this is an heirloom. Indeterminate, it's all indeterminates. So the new Boxcar Willie is a little bit different than the original Boxcar Willie, which are not supposed to be, but I don't know, they're a little different. So I guess it's just a different genetic strain.
and
These are Brussels sprouts, but these are the ones we got from a nursery.
yeah,
And I don't know what kind they are, because there's different kind of Brussels sprouts, but these things have just been terrific to grow. And there's obviously a lot of Brussels sprouts. I think we need to start eating some.
yeah, I think so.
And these back ones these are for, I think they're Santa Rosa or Santa Monica. Oops. Anyways, they're a paste tomato, aroma tomato, and they're indeterminate heirloom.
Look at all of that.
There's a lot of them in there. Had a little bit of blossom end rot, but I sprayed some down, rot stop for it. It seems to work pretty good. I took quite a few out. The cages are good. These are all a 10-foot 2x4 that's ripped down and makes one cage, 5 feet tall. And it worked pretty good, but with only one screw, I need to run some wire across to make some structural bracing. But they work all right. Everything's grown in a 10-gallon fabric pot. Standard Amazon stuff. They're not that expensive.
And
It works okay. 10 gallons.
we got them just in time for COVID.
Yeah, we lucked out.
Look at all of that.
Yeah, they're not going to get a whole lot bigger. I mean, there's a different ones, but they're only going to get maybe twice as big as that.
Yeah, like a Roma tomato.
Yeah, but this one's round though, and I don't
Yeah.
know why, but these ones are not looking like a Roma. Look at this one over here. This looks like a regular tomato.
I think that seed snuck in with the
I
Roma.
wonder. I wonder. So,
Oh boy.
but they don't look like they're supposed to be more of an oblong.
All right.
These ones look good.
So now
These are all peppers. There's 9 peppers here, and they're all from Burpee. They're all hybrids, and they're just all of these new peppers that they came out with. And I don't. I have the names written on the cups, and I don't remember all the names, but they're all sweet and they're pretty cool and boy, highly prolific. I mean,
and they
I'm
are.
gonna write down all these peppers because I think I'm gonna grow these every year.
They are.
You look like a superstar,
huge.
and they grow on their own.
Look at that.
Yeah,
And that.
all I'm doing is I topped them. I let them grow up about 6 sets,
Yeah.
and then topped them. Let that brush out. Top that again. Let that brush out. So basically, every time you split it, you get a new primary head, and those primary growths are going to act like an individual plant. That's why there's so many peppers on these. These are the first round of peppers. So as you can see, like all up the top, there's a whole bunch of small peppers up here. So there's generations of peppers coming.
Yeah.
So-
Very healthy.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
And here,
Cucumbers.
we
They're
have our
all just
cucumbers.
I just kind of a sea or was it burpless cucumber. I just grabbed a pack. I really don't know what they are, but they're all trained up a string, which works really well. And then as they go up, you have to trim them.
Yeah.
And then you break out the growth, which if you look at it, this right here is a. Let's see if we can find one with here's one with an actual fruit. So this is what you get is you get an actual fruit. You get this feeler that grabs onto everything.
Yeah.
And then this becomes a sucker, which becomes its own independent vine. And then you get a supporting leaf that brings all the photosynthesis for this part of the plant. But this will be its own vine, so you rip that off. And then you only have one active vine going. Bring it up the string, go across. Then when they get to this stage, I'm just gonna let them go wild now. So.
And we've gotten over probably a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the zucchini. Check this one out. The zucchini's been really interesting. I've never grown zucchini before. And man, this thing, how many have we gotten so far?
About half a dozen.
Yeah, and big ones. And there's going to be 4 new ones on it. It had some damage here in the trunk. They get a beetle that gets in there and rips it up. But whatever happened to that? Because I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I think the ants
Whatever
got to
happened,
them.
I think the ants took care of it. They're like a bodyguard for this plant.
Eating at the same time.
Whatever they're doing there, I don't know. The plant seems pretty happy. There's another Brussels sprout. That's the one we bought over at
the nursery.
There,
yeah.
That greenhouse.
So
Those were pretty. I think in the future, they only did everything from seed because of the COVID. But
yeah,
but,
and then here's all this.
Yeah, these took a lot of effort, didn't they?
Yeah.
These are both okra.
Okra.
I don't remember they're probably a Clemson spineless. I think that's the one I usually, or emerald. I've grown them all, but these are just okra, and we love them.
About 3 foot tall right now.
And they can get to be where I can't reach the top.
6 foot.
Yeah, no, more like 9, 10.
Oh, and here we are with
potatoes. We got red and we have white.
Yeah.
And they have gone through. They're determinant tomatoes. Potatoes. Really growing those around. But they're determinant potatoes, reds and whites. And at first, those don't matter if you keep putting the soil on top of it. So I kind of planted them a little shallow, and the potatoes were growing right out of the dirt. So I've had to really pack the dirt in there, and they've had their ups and downs. I think I gave them too much fertilizer, slowed them down. I had to
first time
trim
we're
them all
growing
up.
it.
Well, now I've let it just kind of clean itself out, and look at the growth. The growth is great. So whatever was going wrong with it, it seems to have corrected it. So
yeah,
we're just gonna let it go. But I know that there's a lot of potatoes in there right now.
So that is our garden for 2020. Jeff's doing all the work, obviously, and I just like to take pictures. And look at all this.
Yeah.
This is so cool with all those peppers.
How long that is? I mean, that's like
a 12-inch.
I think that's probably about 10 inches right there.
That's a lot of peppers here, people. In our tiny garden. And showing this to my family in the Philippines too.
Yeah, I'm really excited about getting some of these peppers to ripen up. I hope they taste as good as they will.
Yeah. So there it is.
It's been a lot of fun.
Adios.